Hey, what's up guys, this is Liam or Weagle on your Overwatch, back with a new video today. Another tracer guide. The last time I did one of these I said that there probably wouldn't be any more, but you guys really seem to want to know how you place Tracer's ultimate. And there's also something else I've realised about blink management that's very, very good as I've ranked up now in Grandmasters and towards the top 500. As you keep playing heroes more and more, you realise these very, very niche situations and things you can do, and that's what I want to go through in this video. So if you think I'm skipping over anything, I have definitely covered it before. It will be in one of the tracer guides in the advanced guide playlist. I've covered just about all of her kit, and today is going to be nitty gritty right into the stuff that's very, very complicated, and everything I'm talking about I'll try and put on screen to make it a little bit easier. So Tracer's blink can blink you 7 meters. Now 7 meters give or take, because if you've got a lot of momentum you'll blink a little bit further. If you're jumping you'll go a little bit further because the momentum afterwards, etc. But 7 meters is the standard distance that you can blink as Tracer. So I want to talk about blink and pulse bomb because it's a very important way that you can actually incorporate the two in towards getting easier hits on your pulse bomb, but also better kills overall. So I spoke before about when you get into a team fight, you want to have used as few blinks as possible, so that when you're in the fight you have your blinks to stay alive, and you use your recall as an absolute last resort. You should only recall when you're going to die. Until that point you shouldn't use it, because if you do use it too early and the fight extends, you won't be able to stay alive for long enough. But the thing about these blinks is, yes, they're great for evading, but actually what people don't use them for enough that I see is getting very close to a target. Now, you can blink diagonally and that's good, especially when you're trying to dodge, but blinking diagonally can be very difficult when you're trying to blink to an enemy and kill them. So what I want to show you here is just any clip of me blinking to someone and being right in their face as you pull the trigger. Tracer's burst damage is very, very good if you can hit all of the shots, and if you blink in and you get that kill straight away, that is an absolutely enormous play for you and your team, and trying to do this more and more often is of course a great thing. So that 7 meter distance is kind of a guideline, but when you're in a game that distance can be a little bit iffy, because if you blink in and they move backwards you're not going to be as close as you like. But I can show you clips as well where actually if you're within kind of 5 meters of the target, you're still going to melt them pretty quickly if you can manage to hit and track all of your shots. It's very, very good for that. So how do you learn this skill and why is it relevant? Well, it's very, very good because if you can learn to do this, blink in and do that damage, it's very good. But if you teach yourself to blink in and pulse bomb while doing this, it becomes a lot easier to hit the pulse bomb, which is what I know a lot of people struggle with. So Tracer's pulse bomb in Overwatch is really good. It instantly kills a lot of the heroes in the game, but the issue a lot of people have is actually trying to place it on enemies. Now, it's a very slow moving projectile, so you'll see that if you throw it in front of somebody, they'll walk into it and it'll stick them as long as you predict that right. But if you can use your blinks to get to that perfect sweet spot range that you would get in order to get these melty fast kills, then all you have to do when you're at that range is actually track the enemy's movement. So if you blink in and press Q, they don't have that much time to move, and if they do, all you have to do actually is follow them and stick it to them. Because if you're always trying to throw out these prediction ones, it becomes very, very difficult to hit them consistently. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes there's like a clutch moment and you just have to throw it up and hit the person, because if you don't you're going to lose the game, and that's fair enough. So for them, you adjust for the enemy movement, you throw it in that direction accordingly, and you try to compensate for the dip on it as well. But actually the best way to stick this is to get as close as you can to the person and track their movement. You press Q, you keep tracking their movement whilst moving, and it's a very similar skill to that which you would be doing if you were shooting the enemy. So if you blink into an enemy and you're shooting them and following them, tracking them, it's actually the same skill as the pulse bomb, and I don't think people realize that. I think a lot of people will get used to the shooting, they'll get used to the tracking, and when they try and place their pulse bomb, they're kind of just trying to throw it in front of the enemy, the same as a Roadhog hook would work. Now, we've broken Roadhog hook down loads and loads of times, but a lot of people throw it out in front of the enemy to predict for their movement. But because it only has a certain maximum distance, actually the best way to throw Roadhog's hook is at them and track them, and that's the best way to hit it, and that is exactly the same with the pulse bomb. Now, going back to blinks a little bit, there's another thing I want to talk about, and that is actually evading when you're using your blinks. Because what a lot of people don't do is if you blink past an enemy and blink backwards in the same direction, that will completely throw them off. If you blink somewhere, they're just expecting you to be in that direction. But if you completely change your direction, then that's very, very good for evading and dodging. But what's really important, and the main part of this video, is get in and kill them before they can even see anything happening. Now, if you come at an enemy with any hero from behind and you try to kill them, have you ever noticed it's really hard to predict where they're going? Well, that's because you can't predict for someone that doesn't know you're there unless you can also predict the fight that they're currently in, and that's just too difficult. When you're in a gunfight with anyone in any game, not just Overwatch, you're always trying to predict what they're going to do up against what you're going to do, and you adjust accordingly and try and kill them. But when someone's facing the other direction, this is very, very difficult because they could move in any direction at any moment, which again is why the pulse bomb's hard to hit. So you have to get as close as possible. And that's exactly the same with the gun. Managing your blinks from that 10-meter range or so. So if you're 20 meters away, you know if you're holding forwards and you blink, you're going to be right in their face, and learning them distances is very, very important. But again, you do have to be careful, because if you blink and you're in the fight, you only then have one blink to get away. So you have to have your recall on handy so you can actually get out of there, or you have to make sure you're going to kill that target if you're blinking from really, really far away. Many times have I been in the middle of a gunfight and I actually see that something else is weak off in another direction. Again, I can blink and kill them, and then I can rewind if I want to, or I can try and keep that at handy. You should always try and keep your recall at handy, because if you don't have it when you need it, you're gonna die, and you should try and leave it till the last moment every single time. Now, in terms of targets to hit pulse bombs with, who should you really be sticking? Well, most targets are a good target. You have to be careful if there's an enemy Zarya on the other team, because she can be a big problem with her shields. If she shields someone that you've stuck, it won't kill them. If you stick her when she's in a graviton and she uses her bubble, it won't kill anyone. So you have to stick it to the floor, and sometimes even then that won't be successful. Most targets are really good. Some are obviously very hard to hit. I wouldn't recommend trying to stick anyone that moves quickly. Even trying to stick a Mercy can be really, really difficult, although of course she is a great target. A lot of the time what's very, very good is if you are engaging right with your team is to take out the enemy Reinhardt. Not only because is he the main front line and the team will crumble apart without the Reinhardt, but also the pulse bomb nearly kills him in one shot. If you stick him, shoot him a few times, he'll die. If it is a team fight and you stick him with the bomb, it will kill him because other people are shooting at him. It's very, very powerful for taking out Reinhardt and bigger targets. The same with Roadhog. I can show you a clip now where there's me having a fight with a Roadhog and the Anna's coming in, and I can stick the Roadhog. She walks into it because she tries to heal him and it kills her as well. There's also another clip on Numbani where you'll see that the Zarya bubble's on the Rhine, but I know it's about to run out, so I throw it up and I stick him, and because they're contesting at that point, they're together and it kills two people. I've spoke about Pulse Bomb being one of the best ultimates in the game, and I truly do mean that, because you can get it so quickly. Two clips into a Roadhog's head and you're nearly going to have it, and Roadhog is really, really good for farming your ult. It's also good for farming your ult and then killing him, or if he dies whilst farming it, you can then use the Pulse Bomb on someone else. You get it all the time, you can get it in most team fights, and you can always kill someone with it if you manage to learn how to stick them and be very effective with it. The best tracers will always get a great amount of use out of Pulse Bomb, and it can carry the game. It's the best solo carry ultimate in the game, because if your team are really struggling trying to get through a choke and you just blink in and stick their Mercy and kill her, she's gonna die straight away. But do be careful, because it can be very difficult when you don't know someone's looking at you. So as Tracer, you're always in the back trying to kill them, and I'm sure there's footage you've watched in this video as well where I'm actually really, really struggling to shoot someone that isn't looking at me. And the reason is, it's hard to predict for that. You're always going to miss pulse bombs, you're always going to miss when you're shooting, but getting as close as you possibly can gives you the best opportunity possible, because it simply does the most damage with your gun, and it's much easier to hit that hitbox when you're using your pulse bomb. Tracer's in the top few hardest heroes in the game for a reason. It's not easy to hit a shot, so you have to be really close, so you're at a vulnerable place when you do it, and also you have to try and stay alive and blink, and when you blink you have to then compensate for for your new aim from where you've blinked to, which also really isn't very easy. But if you've watched all of the other guides and you've got really good at Tracer, this is exactly what I recommend. You blink in, get as close as possible, and take someone by surprise. Take them completely off guard, and you can kill them like that, and they can't do anything about it, and you just win that fight outright. Same with Pulse Bomb. I hope this helped, guys. This probably will be the last Tracer guide I do, unless I find some other really nitpicky things to improve at. If there's anything you think I've missed, and you've seen all of the Tracer guides, the comment section is the place to go. Be sure to check out our Twitter, our Twitch, and our Discord, where you guys can find the Tracer main of your dreams. And be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed. And also, don't forget to hit the bell icon so you can join the notification squad. I'm sure you'll be in good company. Have a great day as always, guys. Take care and peace, people.